So as many of you know, I work a full-time job and I pursue multiple side hustles outside of my job. So I want to get into time-saving hacks for other people who are in situations like me, where you're maybe a busy parent, maybe you're working a full-time job, maybe you're juggling multiple part-time jobs, and you're like, how could I possibly pursue side hustles on top of this? But so many of us know that this, I don't know, it's just the economy has shifted. It is a lot harder for people to just live off of their full-time incomes alone. Sometimes you need to make extra money from home. And so I want to talk about how you just kind of, I don't know, these are just the time hacks that I use to be able to make it possible for me to pursue side hustles. And the biggest time saver is going to come later in the video. But before we dive in, if you want 5 flexible side hustle options that you could do from home and from your phone, I have a 7-day action plan, and you can grab my free guide, the Launch Your Side Hustle in 7 Days free guide. It walks you through how to make your first $100 from home in just 30 minutes a day. It's totally free, and I will link that below. So let's get into the time-saving hacks that actually give you space to work on your goals. So some more context, like I am a mom, I am a wife, so there are responsibilities just in my home outside of my job. And so when I first started pursuing influencing in UGC, I was actually, I don't know, I was like, how am I gonna do this? And it got harder because as my toddler got more independent and started getting into things and started needing me more, it was tough to kind of figure out like when are the pockets of time that I can make this happen. But I started finding those pockets, and I started waking up early in the morning to make it happen, or staying up late at night. But if you want something to happen, you're going to figure out a way to make it happen. So here are the hacks that changed everything for me. Number 1 is theme your days. I find it so much easier to kind of have like 1 or 2 days a week that I know like, hey, after work or before work on those 2 days, or both, I'm going to be working on things for my business, and I'm going to go ahead and have a list. And so maybe one of those days I'm going to make sure that I'm super camera ready, because that day is going to be dedicated to filming, and the other day that week is going to be dedicated to editing and submitting deliverables for brands. So if you can kind of assign themes for your days, and same with like your regular task, you know, if you can, like Fridays are the days that I dedicate to cleaning. So Fridays I'm like, hey, I'm not working on my business that day, unless I absolutely I absolutely have to, because I have a deliverable or something that's due, but like that's the day that I'm cleaning. So by theming your days, you kind of, it's just a lot easier to handle versus trying to tackle a piece of your business every single day, because some days it doesn't work out that way. This also helps you to reduce like any decision fatigue that you might have about figuring out when am I going to get this done, and it kind of keeps your brain focused on, you know, one task at a time, one mode at a time, which is really nice. So hack number 2 is doing micro tasks during small windows of time. So there are plenty of times where I just kind of catch myself and I'm like, oh, I have 10 minutes, and maybe I'll catch myself scrolling or something. And then that's like 10 minutes that I could be working through my inbox and looking at inbounds, or that's 10 minutes I could be going to platforms and applying for brand deals. That's 10 minutes I could be editing a video, maybe even making a video, who knows? So use those 5 to 10 minute pockets. You can do voiceover recordings, you can answer DMs, you can pitch in that time. So just compounding these 5 to 10 minute times, these little pockets of times when you get them, going to make a huge difference, because those little 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here in one day, that could add up to an hour or even an hour and a half if you're really intentional about it and productive about it. So hack number 3 is to automate as much as possible. Okay, this right here is one of my biggest time-saving hacks. And when I say biggest, I mean this probably saves me around 12 to 16 hours in 1 month by automating this. And that is grocery shopping. I use Walmart Plus, and it has literally been my lifesaver. I started doing that when I was early postpartum, because I was dealing with a lot of still pain and uncomfortability from my C-section, and it was really hard for me to go to the grocery store. So I started paying, it's like $12 or $13 a month for the subscription. And you literally get all of that time that you would normally have to get in your car. Like, you have to get ready, you have to get in your car, you have to drive to the grocery store, you have to plan out your list, you have to, while you're in the grocery store, depending on how efficient you are and what day and time you go on, it can take anywhere from an hour to 3 hours to do your regular grocery shopping. So by automating that, I literally can just gradually, as I need items, go ahead and add them to my grocery cart. And then when I'm ready to place the order, I just place the order, and then it gets to me. All I have to do is put the groceries up. So what used to take me an hour to 3 hours to do now takes me a total of like maybe 20 minutes. Okay. And that's usually how long it takes just to drive there and back. So that is a humongous time saver for me. I highly recommend that. And I do have a link below where you can get a free trial with Walmart Plus. Another thing is doing Amazon Subscribe and Save. A lot of times, there's plenty of people that you want to go shop for. You want to, buy them gifts or whatever. Maybe that's Christmas, maybe that's birthdays, whatever. Maybe there are things that aren't at your grocery store where you normally kind of have to go hunt around at another store for. I use Amazon for so many things for that. And that saves me a ton of time of like actually having to go to a store. And typically when you go in a store, you get super distracted. So you end up spending a lot more time than you may have planned for. With Amazon, I know exactly what I'm going there for, and I'm able to order something in less than a minute. Like, it saves me a ton of time. Autopay bills. I don't know. There's so many things that you can kind of think like, what can I kind of automate? Figure those things out. It makes your life so much more simple, and it's so accessible. I absolutely love it. Hack number 4 is create a side hustle station. So I haven't been the best at this, but it's something that I've learned, like these little micro things really help and they really add up. So if you film or if you create content with a tripod, ring light, you've got background props, you've got a microphone or any type of equipment that you regularly use, create a side hustle station. Like, maybe it's in your office, maybe it's in your room or your closet or whatever, but where every time when you are done filming something, you place it back there. So that way you don't spend the time of like, where's my tripod? That happens to me all the time. I'm like, where's my tripod? But it's like everything else, I have a side hustle station next to my desk where everything else needs to be. It's just a quick grab and go setup. So it shortens your overall filming time. And it makes sure that you're kind of having fewer excuses to actually get the thing done. Hack number 5 is to batch content. So like I said, where you can kind of theme your days. When I love doing like a batch filming day where I'm ready. I have a couple shirts that I'm changing in and out of, maybe a couple hairstyles that I'm changing in and out of. And I am just like, okay, this day after work, I have, an hour and a half, or this day I'm going to wake up early, and before work, I'm going to film for 30 minutes. And then after work, I'm going to film for 30 minutes or whatever. And filming multiple videos in one session can be a huge time hack, because you're not having to like go set up, get prepared, get your scripts together, film, then kind of put everything away and then do it again the next day. It's much easier to just do it all in one session. Editing in batches, scripting and outlining in batches, all of that is so helpful and saves so much time. Hack number 6 is to protect your power hour. So it's kind of cheesy, but your power hour is like, if you have an early morning or a late evening that is dedicated to getting work done, you need to protect that. You need to communicate with the people in your life. Like with my husband, I'm like, hey babe, Saturday morning from this time to this time, I really need to film. So I'm going to be out of pocket. Is there anything we need to kind of square away before then, so that I can protect that time and make sure that I'm being efficient in that time period? And then he'll be like, oh yeah, I was planning to go do this. And so then we got to figure out, childcare and everything, right? But it's like, protecting it means like being very communicative with whoever you need to. Put your phone on do not disturb. Make sure that you're not getting a lot of interruptions. Even 3 or 4 power hours a week can be huge progress for your business, for your side hustle. Okay. Don't underestimate it. Now I do want to acknowledge, like, if you are a mom, sometimes I deal with mom guilt of like spending, power hours on my business versus spending time with my kids. It is okay to invest in yourself. And one thing that I want to just remind you of is like, you are doing it. You are doing it. And that's something for you to be proud of. That's something for your kids to like look up to one day. And I think, you know, just as you take intentionality with your business, it's also that much more important, the more things that you're juggling, that you're also being intentional with your kids. One thing that I heard from a friend and I started doing recently is every single day, I make sure, if nothing else, if nothing more, that I've spent 10 minutes of undivided attention with my child. No phone, no TV, no other person that I'm talking to, but 10 minutes where I am dialed in with my child every single day. And that's bare minimum, right? But it's a good rule for me to be like, oh, at the end of the day, have I spent 10 minutes of undivided attention? I might have spent 2 hours of divided attention, but have I spent 10 minutes of undivided attention? And I just know that makes that, like in my childhood, that would have made a lot of it. That would have made such a big difference in my life if my parents had done that with me. My parents are great parents, but they were very busy, and it's like that's something I really want to be intentional about with my child. So small, consistent actions lead to real income streams. And just to close, I want you guys to help me out. Comment below what your biggest struggle is. You know, when it comes to pursuing your side hustle, like what keeps you from being able to pursue it. Make sure that you subscribe for more content like this. And if you guys have any questions or anything, I would love for you to comment them below and I can answer them on following videos. I do want to mention that I did create my UGC Creator Starter Kit, and it is out now. It is a full plug and play system that you can be able to use to start your UGC creators. To start your UGC business. And it's been so exciting to see students already grab that kit and then start getting their portfolios up, start pitching in the same week. It just clears so many things up. So I'll link that below as well so you can grab that, and I will see you on the next video.